I'm Jasmina Earthangel, an ex-solicitor on a mission to change the world one person at a time. I now work with light workers, earth angels, healers, change makers, and anyone else who wants to return to alignment with their soul and bring in their dream life full of their soul's desires. I post here 2 times a week, so I would really appreciate it if you could click the subscribe button and then the bell so that you get the notifications of all my videos. And of course, if you like my videos, please comment, please like, and please share them to get the word out about what I'm doing. All right, let's get into this video. I am finally doing my video on love, surrender, faith, and trust that I talked about last week, I think it was. Since then, I have been in nervous system shutdown and had to really surrender again into motherhood and to just taking things day by day with my daughter until my nervous system started to kind of pick up and not be in shutdown anymore. So as always, let me know where you're watching from. If you're catching the replay, tell me that you're watching the replay. If you have any questions about anything in this video, let me know in the comments and I will come back and answer them, because I always love to hear from you and I want to be of service to help you guys with anything that may come up from this video. So what we're talking about today is the practices of love, surrender, faith, and trust, and how these practices are what I believe helped my best friend to come back to me after 4 years. I hadn't heard from her or anything since I got married in 2015. I will put a link in the comments to my little video I did last week that this is in response to, but I'll just give you a quick rundown. I hadn't heard from her since I got married in 2015. I thought that I had done something wrong, so I've been sitting with grief about it for years, because my best friend is like a sister to me. We were so close. We've been friends since we were, I think, about 15, something like that. And we really like a sister relationship. There are some things that we really did not get along about at all, but other things we're really in alignment on, and we were always there for each other. So I kind of had this hole in my heart for a very long time. I sat with grief for years until finally I boosted up the courage to send her a message. Well, I had contacted her from time to time over the years, but she never replied. So I thought I might have had the wrong phone number or something like that. And then recently in September, I contacted her on Facebook and said, hey, you know, I really miss you. I'm sorry if I've done anything wrong. I'd really like to be friends with you again if you would like that. And then I started doing inner healing work, which I'm going to talk about in this video. And then not even 2 months after I sent that message, she wrote back to me. And as I said in the prior video, I hadn't done anything wrong. So it was like a huge relief and a release for me that she came back to me. Hi, Leonie. Anyone else that's watching, let me know. Hi. I'm just going through the backstory on how my best friend came back to me after 4 years after I did some inner work, and this is what this video is about, Leonie. If you have any questions, let me know. So that's the backstory. But the second layer to this is with my nervous system shut down, and I've been having a lot of anxiety and overwhelm with motherhood recently. I've had to apply these principles of surrender, love, faith, and trust to that situation as well. So I think that's enough of an introduction. Let's get into it. So basically what I want to start with, I have notes, of course, because I just want to stay on track. Otherwise this video will be sitting here for hours. I should start with why these principles are really important to me. And that is, I have a very big soul desire to have deeply connected friendships and to have friendships in my life again. I don't know if you caught my other video that I put up, I think it was last night, about my core desired feelings and my soul's desire that I'm calling it for 2020. I had been very isolated for years. Oh, thanks, Leonie. There's going to be more. I'm going to get the whole sleeve filled up and some activation codes and things around my body. So I'm planning that. I just have to find the right tattoo artist. So back on track. So yes, I had been very isolated. I had been missing friendships. I was just really lonely. So it's really important to me that I have some close connected friendships that are soul connected in my life. So these principles of love, surrender, faith, and trust really play into relationships in your life and how they can enrich your life, and also aligning with your soul's desires, which is obviously the work that I do, is helping people bring through their soul's desires. So to start off with, all four of these concepts, they work together with each other. We'll start with, what is love? What's your understanding of love, people? There are so many different types of love. But the real key for it to be a real love is that it has to be unconditional love. If it's conditional, or if it's contingent on somebody doing something for you or something happening, like for example, you know, we go through life and we sometimes feel like when we're in school that our parents won't love us if we don't get good grades. That's conditional love. It needs to be unconditional. So you need to have love for yourself and for others, not based on any conditions. And that kind of love should be reciprocated, and that's where you get your deep soul connections from. The next thing is faith and trust. What is the difference between faith and trust? My view on faith and trust is that faith is something that's internal to you, that you hold. You don't need any external validation or support to have your faith. It's like when people, you believe in a power higher than yourself, or you believe in God, you believe in the universe. Science is finally catching up to show that these things exist, but generally there's no external validation for those things, but you're holding that within you. Trust is external to you, so you're putting trust in somebody else or something else to bring you or to do something in the world that you desire. You're just trusting with that. Okay. And I'll just touch on surrender. What does surrender actually mean? There's a preconception or a misconception in the world that surrender just means you give everything up and you don't have to do anything. That is not the case. Surrender actually means, yes, you say your prayers, you surrender it up to your higher power, and you release it from your field so that you're not holding on to it and being like, where's that thing that I really want? You know, you don't go into the restaurant, you order your sandwich, and you go in the kitchen and keep asking the kitchen, where's my sandwich, where's my sandwich, where's my sandwich? You just order it, surrender it, and it will come when it's ready. So there's that. But the second part of surrender is you're surrendering it up, but you're still taking active steps towards whatever it is that you've desired and that you've surrendered. So, you know, you might have a desire to bring health and vitality back into your body. So you surrender that up, you stop stressing about it, you stop holding it in your field with angst and you know, collapsing or tightening. But then to support that, you would still be focusing on eating healthier and maybe exercising and maybe doing some embodiment practices or some self-love practices in the mirror every day to support that desire about your body. Next point I wanted to touch on is faith. How do we hold faith? This one can be very difficult, especially when you're in times of nervous system collapse, or you've had anxiety, or you might have postnatal depression like I have had. And if I'm honest, I think I'm still working through it, but it's getting better over time. Or if you have some grief on your heart about something that's happened in your life, how do we hold faith? The key is we have to follow basically Abraham Hicks's teachings on this, and that is you just reach for the next highest feeling emotion. There is a scale that Abraham Hicks have released. I think it's called the emotional, I can't remember what it's called. I'll find it. It's an emotional scale or something, and it tells you all the, like, what the next highest emotions are up the chain. If anyone knows what it is, put it in the comments for me. Otherwise, I will find it and put it in the comments. So you're not trying to jump from, say, anger to joy straight away. That won't hold in your field. That will kind of take you out even more. So if you're angry, your next highest emotion, it might be grief or sadness. So then you come up to there and you sit with that for a bit, and then the next highest one after that might be, I've got this grief and this sadness, but it's allowing me to work through what I need to work through. So you might then go up into, okay, integrity. What's my truth on this? What am I sitting with? Now, these might not be in the right order according to the Abraham Hicks scale, but this is just my thoughts on it as you're going up the scale. So you just keep reaching for the next higher vibration thought to hold your faith in whatever it is that you are holding faith for. The next point is, why do you need both faith and trust? As I said, faith is internal to you, trust is external. So you're holding a vibration of faith, but you've surrendered whatever it is that you are desiring. So to hold the surrender, you have to hold trust in that something external to you to bring that in. If you don't trust something external, it's not going to come in because you don't have anything there to anchor it to. That's why we need both faith and trust. They're very similar, but they're not the same. And in my experience, holding one without the other, it doesn't work. For example, I was always taught by my mother to never rely on anyone else. You can't trust anyone else. You can only trust yourself. So anytime I tried to manifest or anytime I tried to hold faith for something, I didn't have any trust external to me. I only had a trust internal to me. So it never worked. It never brought through anything that I desired. So I've been on a healing journey recently, and I've really cleared all my blocks around trusting things external to me. I mean, I had done a little bit over the years. It's not an entirely new thing to me, but recently I've really dug deep and cleared it all out, and things are actually flowing so much more easier for me, so much more flow. It's so much easier in life when we can be in community with others and help each other. So that's the trust piece. It's external. The next point, what does it mean to practice unconditional love, and why is that important? Well, as I said, love is not love if it's got conditions placed on it. So you don't want somebody to have conditional love for you, and if you really, really love somebody in all different types, you've got friendship, parents, romantic love, love for your pets, whatever it is, all the different kinds of love. They have to be unconditional on whatever level they are, because that way you can detach yourself. You have no attachment to, or you try not to, because it's not always easy, not have any attachment to that person's behavior unless it's affecting you directly. But even then, you hold unconditional love to them and you practice it, and then you, in your unconditional love for them, are able to raise things with you that may have hurt you. You're able to be more vulnerable. You take responsibility for your own actions, and vice versa. That's why it's important for it to be unconditional. And also, do you really want somebody having conditional love for yourself? I don't think we want anyone to have conditional love. I don't think love is love if it's conditional on something. So why did I want to do this video? Well, as I said in the beginning, I have been on a healing journey recently, and I've also been under immense overwhelm and anxiety with motherhood recently, and my nervous system shut down. So when my best friend came back to me after 4 years, not even 2 months after I finally got up the courage to message her again, I was just in so much gratitude, so much relief. My sister, she's like my sister, came back to me. She's my soul sister. So, I just wanted to do this video because I just love her so much, and she came back, and also I have a tendency to think if anything goes wrong in life, that it's my fault. So her coming back and saying, well, it's not your fault. She said, I haven't been a very good friend to you. I would love to be friends again, da, 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 da. That was a big release, a big relief for me. And it also showed me that these practices that I've been doing, which I'm going to dig deeper into now, actually work. Like the first piece is, you know, recently, I don't know if you saw a post of mine, but another friend said to me, if you didn't have such walls around your heart, maybe people would realize that you're not a bitch. Basically that. There's a post. I've done a post on it with a mantra about taking the walls down around my heart, removing the fortress, and trusting that the whole world's not going to tear me apart. So I dismantled all my heart walls. Like I didn't have any in the front, but I had these big barriers, like a metal friggin' fortress in the back. So I dismantled those and I sat with the vulnerability. I allowed the trust, and like I completely took down the walls. I completely sat in trust along with the rest of it. And not soon after that, my friend came back. The next point is I had deep, deep wounds around being worthy and or deserving of what I desired in this life. So I did clearances, I did healings, and I've been doing a one-to-one program. I've been doing the spiral program, so that's really helped with this. So I healed my deep wounding around worthiness and deserving, and we do that via setting the intention, doing any energetic work to support our field, embodiment practice, and perhaps journaling and mindset work. So I did that. The next point is I took action to contact her and completely surrendered the outcome. So when I contacted her, I held my center, I contacted her with love, said what was true to me, and then I detached from whether she would get back to me or not. I actually didn't think she would. I wasn't sure what would happen, but I was like, no, I'm going to sit in integrity. This message will reach her at the right time. And then whatever she does with it, I still love her anyway, because I do. I still love her anyway, whether she's my friend or not. And that's the unconditional love that I have, and the taking action and surrendering the outcome. That's my next point, is sending her love. And I held her in my heart anyway. Like I said, I detached. I still love her. I still have her in my heart. Unconditional. And she contacted me, and now we're picking up where we left off. We haven't caught up in person yet, but we will very soon when the timing is right. Similarly, I'll tell you how I applied these practices with my motherhood anxiety and my nervous system collapse. So I can't remember the exact days, but when I realized that my nervous system had collapsed or shut down, I basically surrendered everything that I had to do that week. And I said, all right, I need to sit with myself. I need to support my nervous system. I'm surrendering my whole to-do list, all my desires for my business, all my showing up that I have to do. I'm focusing on my nervous system, and I'm focusing on being the best mother that I can be for my daughter. What followed was 3 days of craziness. My energy was flat. I was not motivated. I couldn't do anything in the house. My daughter was crazy. She was screaming. She was running around here. She was not sleeping. She didn't want to eat. I didn't really want to sleep or eat either. So she was picking up on my energy for 3 days. We had craziness. And I just surrendered into it. I think I put some posts up saying, look, I'm surrendering into the mummy vortex. If I'm not out within a week, send help. I surrendered into it. Then I held my love. I directed love towards myself and self-nurturing practices, and also body image and honoring and loving my body. I held my daughter in love. Anything that she needed, I tended to her needs, of course, but held her in love, gave her a lot more cuddles, a lot more kisses, no agenda, just basically no agenda. Held her in love. And then I had faith and trust that I would come out of that place and she would come out of it at the right time. And I thought that I was going to be in there for a week. But within 3 days, the 4th day, it started to shift. I started to receive clarity again. My nervous system started to feel stronger. My anxiety and my overwhelm started to release. But that's because I went all into the void. You have to go all in. That's what the surrender is. You go all into the void. You release everything, but then you hold faith and trust and love. Or you hold love for yourself and your daughter in this case, or love for yourself and your best friend in the other case. And then you hold faith and trust that everything will recalibrate, that it will transmute, and you'll come out the other end at the right time. And usually, once you've gone all in, it's so much faster. Because when you resist, when you push the feelings down, when you don't sit with the emotions and feel them, I've done another video on how to sit with your emotions and also what to do when you're feeling low. So those practices play into this as well. If you don't feel it, you're going to be in it longer because it's just going to be bubbling under the surface. So you have to go all into the void, all in, and it will clear so much faster. So that is what I did. I think that's pretty much it. Now, just to touch on, these are all practices that I can guide you through in my Soul Aligned Life program that's now available. I have space for 3 one-to-one clients until the end of the year, and then more spaces will become available in the new year. Or if you want to do an Earthangel Clarity session with me, I would love to support you in that, to give you a taste of my work. Thanks for being with me today. If you're watching the replay, let me know. If you rewatch, if you have any questions, I would love to hear from you. Until then, until next time, much love and have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day wherever you are. Bye.